Hi and welcome to the Market Alert for Monday, the 7th of September 2020. So Gamma unwind sparks market's worst week in 6 months as dollar spikes. So what do we mean by this? Well, interestingly enough, if you've seen in the Market Alert in the last few weeks about Apple becoming worth 2 trillion and Tesla putting on 70%, etc. Well, this is all down to a bank. I'll just scroll here. You'll see the FT reporting of this. And again, thanks Sam for sending this. SoftBank unmasked as NASDAQ whale that stoked tech rally. So this bank is behind buying a lot of derivatives, i.e. call options and so on. As you can see here, it says the overall nominal value. I'll just get this to highlight properly. There we go. It says the nominal value of calls traded on individual US stocks has averaged 335 billion a day over the past 2 weeks, according to Goldman Sachs. That is more than triple the rolling average between 2017 and 2019. The retail trading boom has played a big part in the frenzy as well, but this is, obviously day traders, etc. But investors say the size of many recent option purchases are far too big to be retail driven. As I always said, it's the big boys that move the market, and there again you can see this. So this is the reason why, and of course, as people unwound the positions over Thursday and Friday, sent the NASDAQ down and also sent the DAX along with it as well. The NASDAQ correcting 10%, but it's not over according to this article. They're continuing to hold massive positions and want to move the market back to the upside as well. So let's have a look, see what happened during Friday's session, mainly in the US, obviously part of the afternoon. But let's have a quick look at the morning session. And immediately you can see here that prices stuck at the 200 bar moving average just on the open. The selling starts to come in there with the first red bar. Prices move lower straight down to the, whoops, let's drag that back, down to the low and the close there, which you can see, where prices then find support. You see the buying comes straight back in at this crucial level. As I've said before, the low is really important in the market, as is the high, but the low in particular when you've got a bull market, because you've got these rising lows as prices move higher. So you don't want to see these lows taken out with selling, because that way prices are likely to correct. So again, you can see here that prices are being brought back at the low, no surprise there, and then move back to the upside with prices closing above the 5 bar moving average and then driving higher as prices attempt to get through the BRNs up to the 200 MA, continuing through the next BRN and then on to the next, because this is what the market wants at the moment. They want prices to be back on the high. So you see from here down at the low that prices then trade straight back up to the DP, having turned green at the 200 MA there. So then prices became sideways. We had a sell signal there. Again, you can see them buying back in immediately as prices touch this area, and then it switches to the buy side. They want the market through the DP if they can, and you'll see prices coming back to the BRN through the DP. And then once they've done this, you'll see potential weakness coming in, profit taking. Got this resistance to the left, and then prices will start to make their way lower, back down to the 20 bar moving average. Again, you see them buying back in with the green bar inside of the red, testing to see if there's any more selling. We then get another attempt to the upside. The DP is really, really strong, and you can see the volume already building in this bar as there's an attempt to try and break through, but prices fail. Even with that amount of energy, prices struggle. They trade just to the scalp, and I've drawn on the high of this area here because that's where the market weakened before, and then you'll see prices coming back once more. And then we have a potential sell, and then prices start to move lower. Again, you can see them trying to buy back all the time as the market is moving lower, stuck in a bit of a sideways range there, and then prices coming back and eventually going through the scalp, and then that's the end of the session. But once more, again, you can see them taking profits here. And the market had become range bound, as you can see there, stuck in a range after it had made its significant move from the open. So let's have a move along to here, where we've got the non-farm payroll figures being released. And if I can, there we go, just there. Let me just do something here to make things a bit easier so I can get to the point. So there we go, we've got the non-farm payroll figures released. They were actually better news than expected, but the market didn't respond to it. And now we can see from the FT, again, just this is the pre-market just after the news. You can see this cluster of selling and resistance at the 200 MA there. Prices eventually break through on this news, but don't really make any headway. Again, you've got the DP at the top here, you've got the 200 MA down here. Now, those that are observant of you, I actually clicked on the wrong chart here. I'm actually in the 1 minute and not the 2. I didn't notice this. You think I would, but I didn't. I was busy looking at the DPs and the 200 MAs and the BRNs and whatever. So I ended up taking this trade to the upside, which I could see wasn't going to work, so jumped out. And then the weakness came in, and I ended up doing the short and hung on to this as the market moved lower. And you'll see eventually getting taken out of the trade on that one. And eventually the penny dropped, and I thought, well, this is a bit odd. I'm seeming to be getting a lot of bars in this chart. And then you'll see me switch. There you go. So now we just had the one signal in the 2 minute, but then again, there was no problem here. We've got a close below the 200 MA. Now the volume did increase as they tried to hold the market at the 200 MA, but eventually it just gave way and moved lower. And that was the theme for the afternoon, as prices continued to move lower down to the close again and the low, which is no surprise there, is it, how these levels work. And then the weakness in the Dow and in the NASDAQ continued, and then prices traded down to the S1. All one direction for the Friday afternoon session. And again, based upon what was happening in the NASDAQ, the weakness that we're seeing there. So let's have a look, see where we are in the bigger picture of the DAX. Don't forget that the US markets are closed today. It's Labor Day in the US. So let's have a look at the daily chart, just see where we are. It's a bit messy, a bit choppy, as we can see at the moment. I certainly got some buying back into the market on Friday, so I'm a bit all surprised to see some sort of move to the upside. Let me just get rid of a few lines, and it's just have a clean up and draw in some fresh lines here. What I'm going to do is to have a look at the high here and this low, and I'm just going to draw in the February tracement from this high to this low. And I can see immediately that 50% is the high of Friday, which will be an interesting one if prices manage to make their way to the upside. Then I've got the 62, and then obviously the 78 and 89, which takes us back towards the high of Thursday of last week as well. So now I know where I am, and I can see the low as well. So if I go from here to here, I can see that we've already come through the 50%, the 62, the market finding a bit of support at the 78 overnight. If the 18.9 is hit, it will have taken out Friday's low as well. So I'm going to leave those in there as references so I can see, depending on which way the market breaks, which side of the trade to actually be on. So let's have a look at the overnight. Just drag the chart across. There seems to be quite a bit of volatility on the overnight. I'm just going to compress the chart so I can see where we are in the bigger picture and where these small moves are taking place, and not so small actually, because we've got about 70 or 80 points there. The market's become a bit quieter. You can see we're hugging the DP and the 200 MA through here. So let's have a look at a bit more detail. So currently we're below the DP and the 200. We are approaching the BRN there. I'm just having a look, see where the low is. So we could, there's always the chance of a sell-off towards the low, but also we're sort of equidistant to the high as well. It was more or less central, which you'd expect with the daily pivot, because that's exactly what it is. It's halfway between these 2 points. So prices around there at the moment. It's going to be a case of what happens when the market opens. There's no real indication here, apart from the US is closed, so the market's free to move higher. And again, I will make note of these areas should prices start to move higher, which from the 50% area there, which is, like I say, the high, which the market will have already put on 100 points should it get to that level. If I can see that, it's got to 100, yeah, 200 from where we are at the moment, which is not impossible, because that's what it did on Friday and Thursday of last week as well. Quick look at the US dollar, because that was allegedly to have rallied, and it has on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. A bit of strength there. It's having a bit of pressure on the metals. So let's have a quick look at silver. However, prices are moving back to the upside there. And again, we can see that the positions here are still showing profits in the silver markets. Just get the right chart there. That's the... I was hoping to add another one, but haven't yet. So we'll see. But yeah, even though the dollar's going up, the silver price is also moving to the upside, which is unusual, because they're normally go in the opposite direction. So silver and gold still very strong at this time. And finally, let's have a look at this week's news. Well, it's a no news Monday and Tuesday this week, say a bank holiday for the US. Thursday, actually, there's no news for Wednesday either. It's a 3-day no news. So the market's going to have to make its own direction. Hopefully the volatility will be maintained that we've already seen. Thursday, it's all about Europe that we can see there. And yeah, Friday, not a lot there either. So a bit of a slow news week in total there. Okay, that will do it for this one. If there is anything else to report, I will let you know. But as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.